Good morning and welcome to the Appalachian Trail, where every day is Tough Mudder Day and you never know what your obstacles are going to be. So yesterday we made it to that tent site. There was one other tent there too. There was room for a few more than that. But so that was 17.1 AT miles plus a half a mile that we climbed out of Woods Hole. And we ended up only having 2 liters of water for that whole 17 miles. But we do have a water source coming up soon. So we're gonna finish what we have left and get some more water. And then there is another one within a couple of miles, but then that'll be it until we get to, I think, the shelter, or just before the shelter, which is in 14 miles. And that is where we are staying tonight. There is a shelter in 18 that would have given us an 18-mile day, which was what we were considering. But I saw there was bear activity. And then in the comments now it's saying it's closed due to a bear that has gotten way too many food bags from low-lying hangs and now won't leave the area and hasn't hurt anybody from what any comments are saying, but he's definitely not afraid of humans anymore, and he ignores any kind of loud sounds. He's just hanging out waiting for some food bags to be dropped. So I'm not going to be camping within several miles on either side. So this other shelter is, I think it's a little more than 4 miles to the south of it. And then we just have to get going and push through there. We're not going to stop at that closed shelter for lunch. We're not going to stop and sit and eat food within at least a few miles on either side. So that's what our plans will be for today. It had a freeze warning last night. My weather app showed me it was going to go down to 1 degree Celsius, which is around like 32 Fahrenheit. So we knew, but it did have a freeze warning because that's a pretty close call, right? So we put all our electronics, our filters, everything into our sleeping bags, threw in our hand warmer, and then it wasn't going to be even come off the 1 and hit 3 until 8. So we just kind of hunkered in our beds and waited till 8 o'clock to really start packing up. I think we left at 8:15. But it is still 3 degrees in the shade is still pretty cold. My hands are pretty cold, but it's supposed to be a high of 15 today. So that's, I think, around 60 Fahrenheit. So should be a good hiking day once it warms up past the 3. Yeah. So, but anyway, so these are our little challenges for today. Water again is a challenge. Now a nuisance bear is a challenge. Well, not really a challenge. We just had to plan around it. So, and I couldn't risk doing an 18 and then trying to have to push at least another 4 into a 22 to our biggest mile day. So I'm not going to risk that, because if my back goes out and something goes bad, it might take us a long time to get to the other side of that bear. So we're just going to stay on this side of them. And then tomorrow all we have to do is do like an 8 to get on the other side of them. So that won't be a problem. So I'll show you how things go as the day unfolds, and hopefully it warms up soon. The sun just has to kind of reach everywhere and we should be good to go. So we're coming up this grassy section. There's a gorgeous view, and it looks like there's a little kind of seated area with some stumps and what's like a makeshift table. We'll go see what the view is from over there. That's kind of neat. Aw, this is kind of cool. I love that rock.
I didn't even notice.
Oh, is that the shelter? Oh!
Didn't even look.
Okay, there's the shelter. Oh, what a nice shelter place. Yeah, we came up from over there and we were looking at the view, so we didn't see over there. So when we were where we were last night, I knew it was at least gone down to 1, but we didn't have any ice, so it didn't go.
Higher elevation though.
Yeah, we're a little bit higher elevation, and you can tell some of these plants got hit with a frost last night. Yeah, this whole section here. Yeah, that's too bad. We're gonna stop here and have a little lunch. This is a beautiful little spot. We have about 7.5 to that shelter. We're not rushing too much today. We're enjoying our day, and it's a little bit warmer now, but it's still got a cool breeze, so you have to kind of manage. I had my little jacket on but then when you're climbing, you get a little sweaty, so I'd take that off, but I'll probably have to put it back on while we're having our lunch. We noticed this morning too, there was lots of people still in their tents, like at 10 o'clock. Nobody really wanted to get up this morning with that chill in the air. It's hard to pack up in that when it's that cold. This is beautiful. It's not listed as a campsite, but you can tell it is a little campsite. Okay, we have a little over a mile till the shelter. We're getting our water in 0.7 before the shelter. But today there was a little bit of bouldering. There was a decent up. This downhill is nice. It's switchbacky. It's not hard at all, eh? This downhill? Yeah, you barely even.
Don't ask my ankles, but
Yeah, don't ask face ankles, but no, yeah. But compared to the normal downs, like when I saw that the up was actually pretty steep. So I was half expecting that the down was going to be the same thing, and it's not. So, but yeah, so it's going to be I don't think we'll be getting to the camp till shelter till around 5:30, which we only did, was it 14 and a half today, Faith? Yeah, 14 and a half today. But we stayed in bed later because it was cold, and we definitely dilly-dallied all day because we're like, we only got 14 and a half. We don't need to push hard. Neither one of us were feeling that great. I think it was dehydration. There's been a lot of long water carries lately, and so we're kind of adjusting to not drinking up all of our water, and I don't think it's that great. So the first thing that I'm going to do tonight is make sure I take my emergency. I did have an electrolyte this morning, but I'm going to make sure I have another one as soon as I get back to camp and drink up a little bit more water and try to get caught up a bit. I'm not sure what our water looks like tomorrow, but hopefully it's not too bad. And but we'll have lots of water for tonight anyway, and in the morning. The weather stayed pretty cool all day. So I think the high was 15 Celsius or around 60 Fahrenheit. And and the breeze, when you're up on the ridge, there was a bit of a breeze. You almost felt like you needed your jacket again, but most of the day it just seemed like just right. Like you're not sweating too heavy and you're not freezing. So it was actually a really nice hiking day once we got it going. So tomorrow, like I said, our main thing is we have to get past this section that has the bear warning. Everywhere has bears. Even when we don't see them, we know they're there. This is a bear warning for a bear that has gotten used to people and people food. So that's why it's a little bit different. It's decided that it likes the people food and it's not going to leave the area, and it's constantly looking for it.
Won't leave until we stop going there.
Yeah, and he's not going to leave the area until people stop going there. So we gotta. Nobody should be stopping for lunch. Nobody should be leaving their bags, because for a while people thought that their bags, their backpacks, were being stolen by other people, and they're like, "Hey, where are these people? Like they're coming in miles and miles out of the trail." From the road to try to steal somebody's bag, but it wasn't. It was bears. Bears are getting used to food being in the backpacks. They don't take them from the people when we're wearing them because they still don't like people, but they watch you. And the minute you drop it to go get water down a hill rather than take your bag with you, they steal your bag. So now we've all learned that now. So unless there's a person up at the top who can watch your bag goes with you when you go get water. Or you hang it. Yeah. Like when I know in the Smokies, when we had cables at every shelter. Yeah, if you had to go for water, all you had to do was just hang your bag on the bear cables or toss it in the bear box. But a lot of these here in Virginia, I haven't seen a cable or a box, except for when we were in Grayson Highlands, and I think those were pony boxes, not bear boxes. So yeah, So don't let your food or your bag out of your sight, and try not to feed this bear anymore, and then maybe he'll go back to being a bear. I noticed there's lots of blueberry plants and stuff coming out, and raspberry plants, and so hopefully in no time his normal food will show up and people will stop feeding him and he'll go back to eating bear food. But anyway, so unless there's something different to see once we get to this water or shelter, that'll probably be it for tonight. And then tomorrow morning is not going to be as cold. I think it's going to be a low of 6 Celsius, which is 42 Fahrenheit-ish. So that's not going to be hard to be packing up in that. We'll be fine with that. And so tomorrow, there is a couple of days this week. I can't remember if tomorrow is one, that it is going to be a little bit warmer during the day, but it's kind of going to be up and down all week. It's not going to be staying too warm during the day. It'll keep kind of dropping down into the between 50 around between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius. So that's like between 50 and 60 Fahrenheit. Those will be the highs. So it won't be too hot this week. So hopefully we'll get in some good miles. I haven't really looked too far ahead to see what kind of terrain we have. I'm trying not to worry too much about the climbing. If it comes, it comes, and I deal with it at the time. The only time we really watch for climbing is when we're short on water and it's hot. That's when I have to make sure that I've gotten enough water ahead before a climb. Because I do sip as I'm climbing. I breathe with my mouth open, and it gets really dry and really uncomfortable if I don't have water. And I sweat so bad. It just pours off me, so I'll get really dehydrated pretty fast. But yeah, so we'll see what tomorrow has for water carriers, for challenges. Our first challenge is just to get past that bear. But so we'll see you tomorrow. I love this type of this area. We get it a lot on the AT, and it's like the big mossy rocks and water running through it. It almost doesn't look real. It is so cool looking. And then you're walking through the trail of all the rhododendrons. It's different, almost like you're in a little jungle. Okay, so we're at this shelter now. This shelter is like, there was one other shelter we seen like this. I forget the name of it. But it was like this. It was really cool. We didn't take a video of it that when we stopped there for lunch, just because there was people there who we hadn't really met yet. And I didn't want to be imposing and videoing them. But it has little bunks on the side. And there's bunks up on there's a bunk up on the top. And then they have a little fireplace. And if it was bad, you could pull down. They have a tarp to pull down if there was any bad weather. So it's like this is pretty cool shelter. And there's a fire pit. There's a fire pit and then a privy up the trail there. But it does show here that the next shelter, what we were talking about, Bailey Gap Shelter, is closed. And it says norovirus alert. So must be a lot of noro going around. We haven't heard of too much right now. We did hear of one person who was talking about they got noro from a hiker, and they were talking about a different shelter, but so far we haven't really seen anybody with noro or heard much about noro. We do tend to sleep at the smaller campsites that have for one or two. We don't tend to head straight for the shelters. And as you know, we stay out, 6+ days without even going to hostels. And when we go to the hostels, we tend to sleep in our tent, except for this past one where we were in the bunkhouse. We were in a smaller room that only had 4 bunks, and there was just me, Faith, and Jonathan. The second night, Jonathan had moved because he's staying there to help out. So he moved to a different cabin with the other staff that helps and stuff. So we tend to be off by ourselves. Hopefully that'll help us. And we do treat all our water. We do wash our hands and as much as we can. So hopefully that'll help us. But so it is for sure closed. The next shelter is closed.